Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling and hope you have absolutely wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a concertina step a card. And you don't need any cutting dice to create the card base for today's project. In my video today, I'm going to use Purple World Collection, digital collection that I designed. As you can see, it has lots of beautiful floral elements to fussy cut and the design papers. Here you can see just a selection of the elements to fussy cut and beautiful design papers. If you'd like to get this digital collection, I left the links in the description down below to buy me a coffee website. When you get the full collection, you also get sentiments, floral wreaths, and also add-ons. All the information is in the description down below. To create my card, I decided to use purple color. So I've got my scoring board and my paper is 6 inches by 12 inches. And I'm going to score it exactly in half, which is 6 inches. That will be the card base. And then we're going to use a bond folder to burnish the score line. Super quick and simple. And this way you can create beautiful cards at no time. If you like fancy folds, I really hope you'll feel inspired and craft along with me, because this card is very beautiful and quick to make. Now I've got another panel measuring 6 inches by 6.5 of an inch, and I'm going to score it at 1.5 of an inch, 3 inches, 4.5 of an inch, and 6 inches. And that will be the step element for that card, which I think is really, really cool. Now it is time to fold and burnish, so we've got mountain, valley, mountain. And when this is ready, I'm going to use my scissors to cut the ends off slightly, so there will be no bulk. And this is very crucial if you want your card to look professionally finished. So now, as you can see, I'm going to use my scissors, and this is super easy to do. All you have to do is to cut a tiny excess on the sides where the flap is. So now we've got two elements ready. As you can see, it is super simple, so it is time to assemble them together. I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to put those two elements together. And I do encourage you to wait until the glue is set before you move on to the next step. Now it is time to decorate our panels. And I decided to use scraps piece of card from my stash. So this element is 5.75 by 5.75 of an inch. And when this is ready, I'm going to have very nice contrast on my card with very dark purple, white, and also the design paper. The elements for the sides are 1.25 by 5.75. So again, it is 1.25 by 5.75. When they are assembled, then you can use any design papers from your stash. But as you know, I'm going to use my Purple World collection. To create this card, I was inspired by iced images. Hair tutorials are absolutely mind-blowing. So check the description down below for hair tutorial, because if you like fancy folds, hair channel is absolutely fabulous. Now it is time to create some mats and layers to decorate the card. So here I chose some of the design papers, and I think they're just so beautiful, gorgeous, and they work really well together. If you agree with me, please let me know in the comments down below. As you can see, I decided to go with some lighter and darker colors together. And this way, I'm going to have very nice contrast. So the square here measures 5.5 of an inch by 5.5 of an inch. So again, it is 5.5 by 5.5. Now it is time to create some elements to decorate the steps. And they are 1 inch by 5.5 of an inch. So it is 1 inch by 5.5. So as you can see, this card comes together super quickly. And I chose this collection very specifically for the recipient because she absolutely loves flowers. And I know that she also likes purple. So for her birthday, I decided to use that Purple World collection. If you think that was a good choice, please let me know in the comments down below. Now we're going to create some three other elements for the front of the card. So again, I've got my scoring board and this panel is 1.5 inches by 6 inches. And I need two more. So this 1.5 by 6 inches and again 1.5 inches by 6 inches. I'm going to score it exactly in half, which is 3 inches. So again, I'm going to score it at 3 inches. So I've got three panels. And now it is time to fold and burnish them. Super quick and simple. And then I decided to use that white card again from my stash. So I need 6 elements that will measure 1.25 by 2.75. So again, I need 6 elements measuring 1.25 by 2.75. Now it is time to assemble them on those elements, which is super easy. And again, if you use liquid glue, you do have time to maneuver your elements, which makes your job super easy. If you like this Purple World collection, please let me know. Do you like the elements to fussy cut, or maybe you've got your favorite design papers? I would really like to know. So please let me know in the comments down below. So when these elements are ready, then I had a look at that collection again and I decided to use actually two design papers. Here, as you can see, I'm going to use the smaller one because you can always use your scraps for fancy folds. And that's what I really like about them because in the end, you don't waste any of your beautiful design papers and collections. So these elements measure 2.5 inches by 1 inch. 2.5 by 1 inch. So as you can see, this card is super easy to create. And at this point, I thought, is there anything else I can add to make this card even more interesting? Because as you can see, the main shape is a square. And then we're going to have some rectangles. So let's put those three elements here. First, I decided to put the middle panel first. So I'm going to attach it to the very first step and the last step of the card. And I have to admit that that purple color for the card base was a really good choice. So if you always use white card, please have a look at your stash because I'm pretty sure you do have some colored card for your beautiful makes. And just play around, mix and match them, and then use your scraps of white card, which I think you've got quite a lot. And this is just perfect for fancy fold because in the end you don't really waste any of the card. So when these panels are assembled, make sure you wait until the glue is set. And at this point, I decided to use one more shape. So as you can see, we've got beautiful steps, we've got a square and some rectangles, so it is time for a circle. So from my stash, I'm going to use card making magic cutting dice. And I've got two circles. So again, I'm going to use the same very dark purple card and white as well, just for extra interest. Now it is time to put them together again with my liquid glue because I do have time to maneuver the elements, which I think is absolutely cool. How often do you create personalized birthday cards? Please let me know in the comments down below. And do you use the favorite color for the recipient? Because that's what I always try to do. Now it is time to decorate the front of a card, and I've got all the elements I fussy cut from my Purple World collection. So as you can see, those flowers work so well with the design papers. And again, I'm going to place them, and when I'm happy with it, I'm going to use my liquid glue. As you can see with this collection, I tried to create those images with symmetrical lines. So actually, I've got the same image, but I do have that symmetry effect, which I think is absolutely cool. If you like symmetry, like I do, This collection is just perfect. So when these elements are ready, I thought something is missing in the middle. As it is a birthday card, I'm going to use a cutting die, very old one, from Crafter's Companion. And I use gold mirror cut to die cut that sentiment. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue just to assemble all the elements together. And it's always a good idea to get rid of the excess of the glue. And now it is time to actually use your fingers or pokey tool. Now it is time to add the name of the recipient, and I use my Tonic Studio alphabet cutting dies, and I die cut the name of the recipient using the same gold mirror card, which means all the elements will match on the card. And it's always a good idea to start with the middle letter first and then go either the left side or the right side, because then all the letters will be evenly spaced. So if you do that trick, make sure everything will be spaced evenly and beautifully, and your card will be professionally finished. As you can see, the card is complete, but at this point I thought, let's add one more panel inside so I actually have some space to write the message. So this square measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of an inch. And when this is ready, the full cut is complete. What do you think about it? Would you like to give it a go? I really hope you do. Obviously, it is time for some gems. I just couldn't resist. And I think those gold gems in the corners really make a difference, especially with that gold mirror cut sentiment and the name of the recipient. So, if you like to try this style, I really hope you will give it a go. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Tomorrow, I am going to have a video for you with some of the amazing collections I got in Poland. So stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Happy crafting! Bye for now!